The Horde in World of Warcraft have always been a unique force on Azeroth. They're a conglomeration of the disparate
Wait, is there like something floating in the back? What is? Oh no, it's this guy's fit. Oh, I was confused. So this is a Zandalari troll, by the way. Ah, yeah, okay, this makes sense. I was like, is there something floating in the back? There's more of this? There's more people in the back? Okay, understandable. Have a nice day.
Outcasts of the fringe factions on the planet.
Ooh.
Each playable race all have their own unique reasons for joining the Horde. Some join through fleshed out methods of storytelling and world building. Others, not so much.
Yeah.
But in order to understand why each race joined the Horde, we need to understand how the Horde as we know it today was even founded in the first place.
Roar!
We'll start right at the end of the Second War on Azeroth, so right after the second Warcraft game.
Okay.
And the Horde lost this war. Pretty bad, actually.
No, stop. Is this real?
And the
Wait.
Horde lost this war. Pretty bad.
That's so BM. Can you actually do that in the game? That is so fucking funny. I love that. I love that. Bro, yesterday when we were playing, right? In the general chat of WoW are so insane. Dude, okay, so Sunny and I, we were orcs, right? And the entire time, every time we were like slash downs, we were just hella twerking. It was so funny. We were like, oh yeah, let's dance in front of the girls. And then like our characters started like throwing it back, and I was like, oh my god, this was a Christian stream. We were so young and so innocent, and now we're just like hella, you know, just throwing it back. It was like low-key like a mating dance. It was crazy. It was so fucking funny.
Bad, actually. During these two wars, the Orcs invaded Azeroth, all hyped up on demon blood, which made them giga powerful, bloodthirsty, mean, and green.
Right.
But now that demon blood was wearing off, leaving them with a nasty, lethargic hangover, and during their years-long murder bender, they forgot all about their orcish culture that they had developed on their home planet of Draenor. So after the Orcs lost the...
Okay, I want to play as a human because these dances are insane, by the way.
Second War, they either fled back to their home world, or they were rounded up and placed in camps by the Alliance. One of these captured orcs was named Thrall, and he joined Orgrim Doomhammer and helped in liberating these captured orcs and helped leading them in their old, traditional, honorable orcish ways.
Let's go!
This was a new era for the orcs. Now, they were focused on their own self-preservation in this strange new world they found themselves in, and this is effectively a soft reboot for the faction as a whole.
When did he die? What?
During the Orcs' liberation, Orgrim Doomhammer dies, and Thrall takes his place as the new war chief of the Horde. And he gets to wear Doomhammer's armor and...
Okay, I remember Orgrim Doomhammer now. Oh, I remember now. Dude, yesterday, I'm not even gonna lie, when we were playing like Classic WoW, right? And I saw like Sarfang, I was like, oh my god, it's my Oshi. I was ready to just AFK right in front of that man's. I'm just saying. I'm enjoying this so far. Oh my god. Green Jesus, round 2, baby.
And wield his fancy weapon.
Ooh.
Sometime later, deep in the war chief's sleep, suddenly, he is granted a vision. Thrall, there's a new Warcraft game coming out, Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos. I need you to travel to the continent of Kalimdor. It's like super important, man.
Oh yeah, Medivh's the one who started it, right? Yo, what the fuck?
So Thrall and the Horde steal some Alliance boats and set sail for the continent of Kalimdor. But on their way, they get caught up in a storm and settle on a remote island.
Bro, stop. You're so funny. What?
Tazdingo man.
While on the island, Thrall meets Senjin, the aged witch doctor and chieftain of the Darkspear tribe. And
I just want you guys to know that no matter what anyone tells me, I firmly believe that all of the conversations in this video happened the exact way that this guy is telling me it was. Okay, you guys can tell me, no, it was more detailed than that. Nope. He definitely said Warcraft 3 is coming out, therefore you gotta go to this like fucking place. I'm just saying. Why would Platinum WoW lie to us, right? Yeah, right? It 100% went down like that. It couldn't possibly have gone any other way.
Even by troll standards, which are typically unsuccessful, the Dark Spear had quite the troubled past.
Oh.
The tribe was originally from Stranglethorn Vale, but were bullied out of the forest by the other troll tribes.
No.
The Dark Spear then fled to the island they are on now. But more recently, a Kultiran expedition of humans established an outpost on the island and are hunting down Thrall's band of orcs. Even worse, a tribe of Murlocs are sacrificing people in order to please a Naga Sea Witch. This entire scenario happens in Warcraft 3, and during the campaign, the orcs and the trolls team up to eliminate the human threat, but the Murlocs take Sen'jin and Thrall by surprise and capture them. And I think a lot of people forget that.
Wait, what the fuck is a Murloc? Is that the fish people? Are they just the fish people? This UI is so old, it's kind of crazy. Okay, so Murlocs are fish people. Also, now I think I've definitely seen this before. When I was a kid, I got babysat, right? So my babysitter's we would go to like my babysitter's house, and my babysitter's older brother would always be playing. I know he was playing WoW, right? And I'd sit next to him and just watch him play WoW for like hours. I didn't even know it was WoW at that point in time. Fuck, hunchback fish people. Oh, I kind of love that for them. Also, old Thrall has like a crazy fucking look. I love that.
That Murlocs weren't always just like these silly little comic relief fish people. Like in Warcraft 3, they had some deep, intimidating ass voices.
Your meddling magics will no longer interfere with our plans, Leonard.
Thrall fights back against the Murlocs, but Sen'jin is sacrificed by the evil amphibian creatures.
No!
And with his last dying breath, he asks Thrall to take his tribe with him because the Sea Witch just cursed this place and a volcano just erupted and the whole island is sinking. So Thrall, the Orcs, and the Darkspear Trolls and their new leader, Vol'jin, Sen'jin's son, all pile into their boats and set sail for Kalimdor.
It's Vol'jin, our second Oshi, who, by the way, I still don't know if he made like a terrible choice picking Sylvanas, but I mean, he made that choice. But I do like Vol'jin very much, though. That's not bad. That's Warcraft 3. Okay, then I need someone to explain to me. So Warcraft 3 is also separate from World of Warcraft. Then is that what you're telling me? I don't know, guys. I'm just saying, if my race got fucking murked by like a bunch of fish people, I'd be like sashimi for dinner every fucking day. He didn't. Oh yeah. The Loa told him to make Sylvanas. You know what? Yeah. They're all prequel games. Okay, that makes sense. Cause like I always just thought that like Warcraft 3 was just like what people were calling like, you know, the start of like World of Warcraft. I was like, oh, and now I know it's a separate game. Okay, I got it then. Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is just a Warcraft 4 then, huh? Cool. Okay. That makes sense. Cause like I think that like this is something that honestly has to be explained if you're new, right? Classic is 4, retail is 5? Really? The Loas told me it makes Sylvanas with some BS lore in the voice of the jailer. It was a jailer? That's crazy. Oh my god. Every bad thing. Oh man, fuck the jailer. All my homies hate the jailer. Am I right, chat? Type 1 in the chat if you hate the jailer. Trust. Oh, it wasn't the jailer? Oh, okay, it was some other dude. Okay, never mind. Well, still type 1 if you hate the jailer. I love the jailer. His overly like drawn like nipple was so distracting. I hated it. Like every other bit of him was like kind of like whatever, but then the hyper detailed nipple was like insane. I was like, brother, why?
Darkspear trolls established themselves in Durotar and the Echo Isles.
Ooh.
Finally, the Darkspear trolls had a place they could call home.
Ooh.
Throughout history, they had been plagued with famine and war, but now, as a part of the Horde, they can start to build a life of prosperity with their newly found Horde allies.
Friendship! What the fuck? Cow!
Someone call for the doctor?
The Horde then meet the Tauren, who have a very similar story to the Orcs and Trolls. The Tauren are a tribal, shamanistic race who have lived in harmony with nature for generations. Only recently, the Centaur have been encroaching on their lands and threaten to drive the Tauren to extinction. Thrall meets the Tauren leader, Karen Bloodhoof, and helps the cow people claim the lanes of Mulgore, and in return, the Tauren join the Horde.
Okay, hold up. Is the Horde basically just a club of people who got fucking bullied off of their land? Is that it? The power of friendship? It's just a bully. It's just everyone who gets fucking bullied. I kind of love that. I kind of love that. Friendship, the power of friendship is truly magical, guys.
For the Horde.
Yeah, for the
So
Horde.
far, this whole reinvention of the Horde has been told through Warcraft 3. And this game ends with the Horde helping fight back a demonic invasion and then building the city of Orgrimmar.
Orgrimmar!
So right now, there are 3 races in the Horde that all share many similarities.
He named so the city is named Orgrimmar after his like dead bestie, who was the OG chief, right? Okay. But Thrall is still alive, like all the way till now, right? How many years have like canonically passed, or is Thrall just like alive like 5 ever? Is he like immortal as fuck? Yeah, the orcs got bullied, trolls got bullied, the cows got bullied, the undead got bullied. Everyone's getting fucking bullied out here in this. This is not the economy. He's like 50? Oh, 25 years? We watched 11 hours of cinematics for 25 years to pass? I'm just saying. That's some Pokemon level shit. That's honestly some Pokemon level shit, huh? Thrall is basically Ash Ketchum.
They all are groups of tribal warriors with cultures focused around honor and shamanism, trying to thrive in a world that threatens their existence. But it wouldn't be till World of Warcraft that a new race would alter the dynamic of the Horde. And this is one of my favorite instances of world building in the Warcraft universe.
Oh, that's like the taxi that we took yesterday, huh?
The Forsaken were formerly the citizens of Lordaeron, who were enslaved and undeath by the Lich King, then later broken from the shackles of his domination magic. But one must ask if their free will is a blessing or a curse.
Lich King mentioned, guys. The Lich King was fucking mentioned. Let's go, gamers! Guys, the world of World of Warcraft must be so stressful because there's like constantly like threats every 4 years, right? There's like threats every 4 years that you gotta beat. Like you have no time to even like take a break. Like even if I want to have like kids or something, it'd be like, yeah, you know, sick. In another 3 more years, there's gonna be a new big bad that I'm gonna have to fucking kill. Every year? Oh, every year there's a fucking war, dude. Oh, Seven's in the chat. Let's go. Also, yeah, OG Lich King mentioned. Let's fucking go.
Gone are the days of their lives when they were living. A distant memory as their kingdom crumbles around them and their shambling bodies decay. They are a people cursed to live in the light-forsaken echo of their past.
Oh no.
And yet, it is the only place they can call home.
Okay, this is a very weird segue, but you know how like they're undead, right? And like basically their like flesh is rotting off. I kind of admire the dedication that, you know, her titties are still on, if that makes sense. Would you rather live in WoW or Warhammer? Infinitely WoW, because it feels like as a peasant I could still have like a, you know, a good life ish. you know, if my village doesn't get, you know, fucking like raided by like Sylvanas or something, I think I could still live a relatively good life. In Warhammer, absolutely not. I would be eating like fucking corpse cakes or whatever it's called. But yeah, I kind of love the dedication to the rack. I'm just saying, you know, hey.
Home, as the outside world shuns them as monsters, no different than the scourge which they had broken free from.
Oh no!
The Forsaken's only hope for their continued perseverance is through their Banshee Queen, Sylvanas Windrunner, who promises to lead her cursed people to a better existence, no matter the cost. Forces like the Scarlet Crusade threaten the Forsaken's survival, and in order to ensure their safety, they must find new allies on Azeroth.
The Horde! Let's
At
fucking
first,
go!
Sylvanas sent emissaries to the Horde and Alliance.
Victory for Sylvanas.
The Alliance emissary was never heard from again.
Oh!
But the Horde emissary, surprisingly, found allies from an unexpected source.
I'm gonna be for real. So if I were the Alliance people and like a zombie came up to me and was like, my people are getting like attacked and like we need help, I would genuinely be like, what the fuck? I'm gonna be for real. So I'd be like, what the fuck? Why are you talking to me? I feel like shit. This is low-key frightening. Also, we are watching a video on the Scarlet Crusade because I don't know what the Scarlet Crusade is, and I don't think there was a cinematic like that went super in detail about it. So we are gonna be watching. So we are gonna be like watching a video on it. But yeah, I feel like, sir, shouldn't you? I don't know, be like dead or something? Oh, they have living relatives in the Alliance, but they got Oh, that is sad. That is sad. That is fucking sad. Dude, I don't know. If my like dad came back from the dead to be like, hey, I need help, I'd be like, okay. But also like, what the fuck? That's kind of, I don't know if it's racist. I feel like okay, the fact that the undead are considered like a separate race is like confusing to me, only because, right, they're basically zombies, right? I feel like seeing my dead relative get reanimated would be a trippy experience for literally anybody. For literally anyone, it would be a trippy experience. It'd be like, I could have sworn you were dead, but now you're alive. You're like alive and you're like coming back home like all like, you know, all dead and shit. I'd be like, what? There's a book where you try to reunite the undead with their relative. When it goes well, because she want to. Oh my god, Sylvanas is insane. Aren't just zombies? They're not zombies. Okay. There's a meeting with the Forsaken. Oh, that is okay. You know what? That is nice. That is nice. You know what? We stand family reunions here. I love that for them.
Source. They met with the Tauren, specifically Hamel Rune Totem, who saw a chance at redemption for the Forsaken. I mean, if they didn't help them, who would? Surely it wouldn't be the Alliance. The undead ambassadors meet with the Horde leaders and explain that they're merely seeking a cure for their undead affliction. Just
oh no, they want to be cured.
Plague in their laboratories, feeding poison to living beings for fun, and have lobotomized slaves.
What? Wait, what? Run that shit back by me one more time. I just went, aw, that's so cute. And now it's like, huh? We were just like, oh yeah, you know, this shit's real fucking cute. I'm so happy for them. They get to like, you know, go home to their families and also go, oh yeah, they're also like lobotomizing people, guys. What? like, excuse me? I'm gonna send this video to like Mamie and Leah just to see their reaction to like the undead. Look, we're all just silly little guys. We all commit a little crime once in a while. It's a silly little thing that we do, huh?
That is just all about finding a cure, of course. Yeah, finding a cure. And perhaps the Horde and their shamanistic ways could be the breakthrough they need to find it.
I guess.
At first, the Horde leaders were unsure about this whole idea. During the Third War, they fought the Scourge. Were these Forsaken really that different? But on the other hand, They have a fortified city in the Eastern Kingdoms, a part of Azeroth with virtually no Horde presence, and it could be a crucial asset to the Horde. Upon further discussion, the shamans of the Earthen Ring suggested that it was the Horde's obligation, no, it was their duty to aid the Forsaken. The Orcs were also labeled as monsters after drinking the demon blood, and only just recently altered their course for redemption. Couldn't you say the Forsaken are trying to do the same? And so, the Forsaken were officially accepted into the Horde, although their partnership with the other Horde races was not as tight-knit. Regardless, the Forsaken were allowed to establish was
what do you
not
say?
as tight-knit.
They would later grow closer to the other Horde races? Okay, cool. Also, I'm just saying, at this point, I think my favorite are the cow guys, because I think the cow guys are like... so far, I don't think the cow guys have committed genocide, and that's like, you know, a +1 in my books. You know? I think the cow guys are like the best. Are you liking this video? You are, aren't you? Aren't you? Well, if you like this video, remember to like and subscribe. Also, drop a comment down telling me what you want to see next, and maybe I'll do it. Maybe I won't. Who knows? You'll have to keep watching, don't you? Everyone else is like morally like questionable. The Tauren though, fucking chill as fuck. I love them.
Regardless, the Forsaken were allowed to establish an embassy in Thunderbluff called the Pools of Vision. But the Forsaken would be critical in the recruitment for the next race to join the Horde. In the very north of the Eastern Kingdoms, the Kingdom of Quel'Thalas was reeling in pain after the Third War. The High Elves of Quel'Thalas took the full brunt of the Scourge. 90% of their population was slaughtered, and their font of power, the Sunwell, was corrupted, then destroyed.
Right!
After this devastating defeat, the Blood Elves struggled to satiate their addiction to magic, and ripped the arcane from living things, and used fell magic to rebuild their kingdom, causing their eyes to turn green from its radiating influence.
Right.
They renamed themselves to the Blood Elves.
Okay, she's kind of sexy though. I'ma be for reals. Okay, whatever the female elves are like putting down, I am picking it up. Also, oh yeah, eventually the cows do go a little genocidal, huh? I do remember that bit. But also, she is very hot. The man, not he's all right. The lady though,
And their leader, Kael'thas Sunstrider, left to go to the world of Outland to find a solution to their magic addiction.
Aldir Shala.
But their battle against the Scourge was not over. In the corrupted Ghostlands, their necromantic influence still festered, and the Blood Elves had no allies to help them in their weakened state.
Oh,
You think
7.
the Alliance would help, but that's where you're wrong. In the previous Third War, the Blood Elves briefly allied with the Alliance soldiers, who were incredibly unreliable and kind of left them for dead. And more recently, the Night Elves joined the Alliance.
Fuck the Alliance. I'm just saying, fuck the Alliance. Oh my god. Also, I just thought about it, guys. What if I reverse catfish someone into thinking I'm a guy? In like WoW. Cause like I feel like that's a thing that people do, right? They catfish. What if I catfish someone into thinking I'm a guy? Would that be fun? Would that be funny? Fuck the Alliance also. How successful would that be? I don't know, but we could try. We could attempt to be like, no, I'm a guy, duh. Like, you're crazy. I'm clearly a man. Oh my god.
The Night Elves being one of the longest running enemies for the Blood Elves. So instead of helping, the Alliance kinda just spied on them to make sure they weren't doing anything nefarious. What
What?
the Blood Elves did find was help from an unexpected ally.
Hello?
The Forsaken came to the Blood Elves' aid and developed a unique partnership. First and most importantly, they both hated the Scourge, as the Scourge had destroyed both of their homes and their lives.
Yeah, fuck the Scourge.
Second, Sylvanas the Banshee Queen was formerly the Ranger General of Quel'Thalas,
Oh.
and was killed by the Scourge, so they have a special connection to the land and an incentive to reclaim it. It was through this unique partnership that the Blood Elves would eventually join them.
Is he just casually munching in the back? Bro's just having a light fucking snack. Yeah, guys, so if I play WoW on stream, just remember I'm a 40-year-old man named Chuck. Trust. True, Fry. Very true. Oh yeah, Mamie was just casually eating behind me and I was like, Mamie! we were playing, she was like, hey, Miwa, look, I can do this. I was like, yeah, what's up? And she just casually started snacking on someone. I was like, Mamie? Yeah, he's just a little hungry, you know? It's just a little snack. It's fine.
The Horde.
For the Horde.
Hell yeah.
The reasons for the Forsaken and the Blood Elves joining the Horde are some of my favorite lore tidbits in the Warcraft universe, and a great continuation of the lore from Warcraft 3. You'll notice for future races that join the Horde, the explanation for them joining is far less nuanced, and mainly told through linear quest lines or, well, just barely at all, really.
Oh.
During the Cataclysm, the Bilgewater cartel goblins were met with disaster as Mount Kajaro erupted, and the goblin city of Kazan was about to be destroyed, so they had to flee the island. Which is odd. If I had a copper for every time a volcano was involved in a race joining the Horde, I'd have 2 copper, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
True.
Anyways, the goblins flee the island on Trade Prince Galliwix's boat, and the price for their escape is that they're all now his slaves. The boat gets attacked by Alliance, and they wash up on the Lost Isles. On the Lost Isles, they meet with Horde soldiers who are also on the island. They work together, kill Alliance, rescue Thrall, and then Thrall beats up Galliwix. Thrall gives Galliwix the ultimatum that he will spare his life, but the Bilgewater goblins have to join the Horde, which Galliwix accepts, and he just gets to continue to be the leader of the cartel despite his total disregard for goblin life, which seems like an awful solution for a clearly evil individual. But then again, Thrall really never had a good track record when electing new leaders.
Okay, hold up. Is Thrall kind of throwing right now, guys? Is he kind of controlling? No, it's not controlling. Is he kind of throwing? Is he kind of throwing for the Horde right now? Yeah. Oh man. So he's just throwing for us. Aw. Don't question Green Jesus. I question his judgment a little. I'm gonna be for reals. I think we can question his judgment a little because capitalism. He's been throwing. Oh my god. I know we love this man, but also he is literally throwing for the party right now. My god.
As you'll see with the next race that joins the Horde.
Uh-huh. Panda! God, I'm so happy right now. I love the pandas.
All playable Pandaren are from the Wandering Isle, a giant turtle with an entire zone on the back of it. During the intro quest line, the Wandering Isle Pandaren are introduced to the Horde and the Alliance, and have to pick which faction to join. The Pandaren that join the Horde subscribe to the Hojin philosophy. This is a philosophy that inaction is the greatest injustice, and it's better to work fast than not at all. And the leader of this school of thought is a Pandaren named G. Firepaw. But
Hell yeah.
The Horde-aligning Pandaren joined the Horde at possibly the worst time in all of history because Garrosh Hellscream, the warmongering war chief, is fully immersed.
No. Logs, it's your
Find out
Oshi.
What this war chief of theirs is made of.
Oh.
Emperor Hellscream, I am G. Firepaw.
You've made a wise decision to join my horde. There are some that would call us barbarians, the mongrel races of Azeroth. They are ignorant and blind to reality. Look around you, Pandaren. You will find no better partner in battle than an orc. The Tauren have made themselves useful. Look, this one is a shaman.
Yay!
Even a blood elf can hold a sword.
Okay,
Do you see it? Everyone in my horde earns their keep.
kind of mean.
You and your friends will be no exception. Do you understand this, Pandaren?
Yes, war chief.
Good. Moving on. I know that you are not the only Pandaren to escape from that island. Some of your kind chose to join the Alliance. They are now your enemies. You may have had friends and kin who chose to cast their lot with the enemies of the
I think the pandas look better in red than they do in blue. Don't at me, but I honestly think they look better in red than in blue.
Horde. They are no longer your friends, no longer your family. The minute they put on that Alliance tabard, they died. I will not tolerate any lingering ties across enemy lines. Traitors to the Horde will die a traitor's death. Do I make myself clear?
I believe so.
Good. Meet me in the Valley of Honor.
Bro's kind of a red flag, but also this is actual in-game dialogue? That's insane. He's... You know, that makes sense. He's kind of a dictator, huh? Yeah, Caramel Danson is crazy.
I have a gift for you.
And then Garrosh sends him to an arena and it makes him fight 3 giant monsters. So realistically, I think the Pandaren that joined the Horde would swiftly turn around and leave if their leader told them that they need to kill their grandmother just because she's wearing a blue tabard.
No.
But the Pandarens stay, and there really is no lore about Horde Pandarens after this, other than G Firepaw being set up for execution during the Siege of Orgrimmar raid, and if the players are too slow, he just straight up gets murdered.
What? They killed our boy? Why the fuck they kill our boy? Huh? We gotta save him. We gotta save. Oh my god! If we time walk and we get to play this like quest or whatever, I am literally running my ass over to save this man. Only if you're slow. Oh my fucking god! Call me Sonic because I'm about to fucking zoom over. I'm gonna be fast as fuck. Our boy getting like absolutely decapitated is fucking insane. How could they do this to him? He betrays the Horde. Oh, you know what? That makes sense.
No!
The de facto Horde Pandaren leader then just sits around for the next 13 years. He's got a very minor role in a book and is a part of the Horde Council. But, yeah, that's kind of it. Okay, so the next races that join the Horde are allied races, introduced at the start of Legion and the Battle for Azeroth. Since this video is about why they joined the Horde and not the race's lore as a whole, I'll be going through these pretty quick. So the Horde and the Alliance and Legion both helped the High Mountain Tauren and the Nightborn, but both of these races ended up joining the Horde. For the High Mountain Tauren, it's because of their cultural ties with the Tauren. And throughout the expansion, we help liberate the city of Suramar from the control of the Legion, and find a solution to the Nightborn's arcane addiction, and First Arcanist Thalyssra becomes the new leader of the faction. But Tyrande, leader of the Night Elves, was hesitant to accept them into the Alliance. Tyrande was there in the early history of elves on Azeroth thousands of years ago. She saw the cultural separation between the low-born and high-born elves, the betrayal of Queen Ajara, later the demonic corruption of Prince Kael'thas, and the deceit of Elisand. Now you tell me, would Thalyssra really be any different from the arcane-wielding elvish leaders before her? Tyrande had her doubts. So the Nightborn joined the Horde instead and got along well with the Blood Elves, because a lot of the aspects of Nightborn culture is just Blood Elf culture.
So it was classism. She was like, you guys are lower class or something? What? She was like, well, I can't guarantee you won't fucking betray me, so no thanks. But that's also kind of fucked up. Man. Also, the number of elf races that have been like addicted to like some form of magic, there's 2, right? But that feels like they were upper class. Oh. So it is classism, basically. It's just the other way around. Okay. Man. Okay, I'm just saying I'm kind of on I'm kind of like on the party that hates like Tyrande right now, only because like she fucked up my boy Illidan. Okay? Only because she kind of destroyed my man. Okay? She ruined my guy, and I feel bad for him. Even though, you know, she loves his brother, but you know, It's okay. It wasn't her fault, but like, okay, but she ruined him. Therefore.
Except it's purple.
What if it was purple?
What? Oh, that's pretty.
During the Battle for Azeroth expansion, the Horde meet up and ally with the Zandalari trolls. During the main questline, we help save Princess Talanji's life, earn their trust, and fight alongside them when the Alliance starts pushing into their lands. So by the end of the expansion, they join the Horde.
For the Horde!
Also in Battle for Azeroth, the Volpera join the Horde. Because they've been living in a desert and they want to adventure. That is the whole reason. Yeah, the Volpera are kind of like, I'm gonna be honest, the industry plant race of the Horde, okay?
No.
And finally...
The industry plant race is an insane thing to say. I kind of love it, right? But also, I feel like that is, okay, we might have the cows, and we might have the pandas, but I feel like those little foxes, that is the furry race. I don't even register the other two, like, animal-looking classes as furry races. That one, on the other hand, that is the furry race. Right? I kind of love that their whole thing is like, I want to see the wild. You know, good vibes. But, oh man.
Mag'har Orcs join the Horde in the most ridiculous way possible that is so outrageous and over the top that it's so bad it becomes good again, and I kind of love it. Okay, so in the Warlords of Draenor expansion, we travel to the alternate reality version of Draenor before the Orcs drank the demon blood, which is why they're called Mag'har Orcs. Mag'har meaning uncorrupted in Orcish. We fight them during the expansion, then kill all the demons on the planet, and then suddenly they become our friends at the very end, and then we leave alternate Draenor. 2 expansions later, the Horde need more allies for the current faction war and open up a portal to go back to alternate Draenor. Back on alternate Draenor, the Draenei we fought alongside with have gone crazy and have turned into these fanatical light-worshipping zealots. And it's only a matter of time before they kill all of the Mag'har Orcs. So we help the Orcs, take them back to our timeline, and they join the Horde. Which is, wow, just the most convoluted way to have a character customization option to make green orcs brown. And finally, in Dragonflight,
Wait, what?
the Drakthir wake up from their stasis in the Forbidden Reach and don't really join the Alliance or Horde. They just join the factions as diplomats of a sort. And it's the same for the next race, the Earthen. They're just diplomats and not necessarily Horde members. I really do wish I could give you more context for both of these races joining the Horde, but there really isn't anything of substantial value to talk about.
So these guys are just there then. They were just like included in the Horde just cuz. Guys, okay, this is gonna sound crazy. Oh, it's probably not crazy, but I kind of want to play Alliance in like retail, right? Just for like the other story.
Like, at all. So you've probably noticed that the actual lore explanation for each new race joining the Horde has been going down over the years. There are a couple explanations for this. One is that storytelling was a huge part of Warcraft 3, which allowed Blizzard to sow the narrative seeds for the lore to come in World of Warcraft and enrich it to its fullest extent.
Okay.
Then, in World of Warcraft, the finite amount of narrative resources Blizzard has is used for gameplay that more players will interact with, like telling the story of a raid, a zone, or a very important lore character. Yeah, you know, they could do a whole complex storyline filled with voice acting, explaining the reasoning for the Pandaren staying in the Horde, but it's not like many players would actually interact with this content, and they would rather want lore for the flashy new showcase raid that is far more interesting to the wider player base.
Oh.
And that is why I love it when Blizzard releases short stories that allow us to dive deep into these topics for nerds like me. And there's an important part of Warcraft lore that I think a lot of people forget about, and it's that this game's lore is not the top priority for Blizzard. World of Warcraft's lore is used to help explain in-game content features first and foremost. And a majority of players do not care that deeply about the game's lore. At the end of the day, the average player just wants to play as a cute fox person, and they could care less about the in-depth lore justification for them to just play the freaking cute fox person.
Really,
and
though?
lastly, since Dragonflight, Blizzard has pretty much abolished any faction tension or nuance between the Horde and the Alliance. So new playable races really have no incentive to join one or the other. They pretty much pick their favorite color and which capital city looks prettiest. So despite World of Warcraft's framework being built around this Horde versus Alliance conflict and players having to make the decision between the Alliance or Horde, it's an extremely inconsequential part of the main story's lore. It's now this awkward disconnect that Blizzard is going to have to confront with each new race that gets added to the game, and I hope their solution isn't just making every new race neutral, because that's really, really boring.
Yeah.
So in summary, what unifies the Horde is that they are the remnants of a war-tarnished world. The outcast races desperate to carve out a place of belonging despite their troubled past. The Orcs fostered a new era after their defeat in the Second War. The Darkspear Trolls fight to find prosperity in the echo of their ancient troll empire, while the Tauren strive to preserve their nomadic, spiritual way of life in the face of encroaching threats.
Oh, I kind of
The
love
Forsaken
them.
attempt to separate themselves from their Scourge origins. The Blood Elves seek redemption and stability after their kingdom's destruction and their addiction to magic. Each race within the Horde has its own unique struggles and desires, but they are bound by the harsh realities of a world shaped by war, loss, and survival. They are united by necessity of standing together against both internal strife and external dangers, even if their individual goals may sometimes differ. The Horde represents resilience, the persistence to rebuild from devastation, and the will to survive despite the overwhelming odds they face. Each race of the Horde shares the legacy of war, but together they work for a future of hope.
I love that the Horde is just basically, we are best friends. I love that energy for them, and like I am very happy for them. I still low-key want to play the Alliance though, only because I think the playing a human guy and doing Fortnite dances on your enemy is a lot funnier than playing a female orc and twerking on your enemy.